all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video. I had a bunch of titles in my head, so I settled with this one. Eat this roll and go out and teach the house of Israel. That's from Ezekiel chapter 3, starting from the first verse on down. So what it means is, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go to it. Give me a second here. And I'm going to read it in the NLT. Ezekiel 3. Said unto me, son of man, eat what I am giving you. Eat this roll, which represents the scriptures. Then go and give its message to the people of Israel. And that applies to us today. That applied to the disciples, the apostles, the followers that came after the apostles. That applies to us. It says eat this. It says eat this scroll. I'm sorry, scroll is book. But it was, ancient books were written in the form of a scroll. And it says eat it, and then go out and then go and give its message to the people of Israel. It means the Old Testament and the New Testament. It means the Apocrypha. And when you eat something, you digest it. So you can't go and teach Israel if you haven't digested this whole book, and you don't like, there's certain things you don't like about the book that's in the book. Well, no, I don't like this part. I don't like the great part. I don't like this part. I don't like that part. But I'll teach 95% of the book. No, didn't say that. Didn't say eat some of the book. It says, so I opened my mouth, and he fed me the scroll, the whole scroll. So you had to die. When you eat something, you chew it. It goes down your throat, into your stomach. Now the scriptures speak about vomit it back up. It says, fill your stomach with this. And he said, and when I ate it, it tasted as sweet as honey in my mouth. Then he said, son of man, go to the people of Israel and give them my message. If somebody reads a letter to you, somebody wrote a letter, they gave it to you to give it to somebody else and read it to them because they can't read or they're blind or whatever. You can't take out parts that you don't like because you haven't read the whole letter. I am not sending you to a foreign people whose language you cannot understand. No, I am sending you to people. I am not sending you to people with strange and difficult speech. If I did, they would listen. But the people of Israel won't listen to you any more than they listen to me. For the whole lot of them are hard-headed and stubborn. But look, I have made you as abstinent and hard-hearted as they are. So we got to tell them whether they listen or not. And it's very simple. When you deal with, if you go to a particular place, and I always bring this up, Matthew 10, and they don't accept you, you close up. You close up. So not only are you to eat the whole roll, digest it, meaning you're supposed to know everything about the scriptures. They ask you about the MOTB. If you're saying it's sin in all of its forms, if you're saying it's sleeping with white women, that's totally wrong. Either you didn't digest the whole book, there's certain parts of the book that you digested, or you threw up. Scriptures speak about lose thy sweet words. Let me do that. Sweet words. The morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up and lose thy sweet words. So if you're saying that you're reading the scriptures, right? 12 tribes of Israel, this, that, and the third, the prophets, Babylon is America, but you say Edomites can make it, you're going off. You vomit up the part where it says, no, Edomites will not make it, and not so many words. The morsel which thou, a morsel is something small. I'm going to pull out some words. The morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up and lose thy sweet words. The sweet words is the right words. Esau is going to make it too if they trust in the Father. No, those are not sweet words. Only Israel is going to be delivered. Those are sweet words. Let me pull out some words here. Let me pull out a word. Morsel. That's an old word. Jake don't say, eat that morsel. They don't use that word. That's an Edomite word. Morsel. The word is path. Fragment, bit, morsel of bread, piece. Okay, so this is the root. And this is pathath. To break up, crumble. Part. So if you're teaching that only Israel can be saved, and you vomit it up the sweet word. So you're saying, vomit it up. But I think what's to be in there is that Edomites can make it. Anybody that teaches that Edomites can make it if they're right with them, the nations can make it, they don't get the same blessing as an Israelite would. Then that person's that he's not a prophet, or he's a false prophet. The same goes with the MOTB, for an example. That's a major example, which is a controversy with that, and it shouldn't be a controversy. We here at Great Millstone made it crystal clear that the MOTB is the micro C hip, which you can't say. It's on the news every day. The technology is already out there. People already got it. So if you can't see it, the Most High either blinded you, or you know what it is, and you got a bag to deceive people. And the people that follow you are not of the elect, because they would see it. Another voice they will not hear, John 10. So anyway, come back over here. Okay, let me deal with the word vomit. There's guys that come in saying one thing, this, that, and the third concerning the scriptures. Edomite can't make it, nations can't make it. Babylon the Great is America. Then all of a sudden, oh no, Babylon is a whole planet, or Babylon is in Jerusalem. They vomited up the sweet words. So let's look up the word vomit. The word there is quaya. quaya, a primitive root, to vomit up, spew out, disgorge, to vomit up, a land spewing out its inhabitants. And that's what happened to us. The Most High caused the land to spew us out, vomiting, disgorging. Right, it says here. It says Leviticus 18:25, and the land is defiled there. Therefore, I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomit out her inhabitants. And that happened to us. Proverbs 23:8, the morsel which thou, the sweet words, I read that. Okay, there's one in Isaiah. Proverbs 25:16, has thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therein and vomited. Jonah, okay, the fish vomited him out into the land. Let me do this. I don't know why the word Isaiah didn't come up. The precept of Isaiah. Let me try this. Vomit. We're dealing with the example of the mark of the beast, the MOTB, right? If anybody's teaching something other than what we here at Great Millstone is teaching about the mark of the beast, that's vomit. Right, hast thou found honey? That's the whole truth. And it takes, sometimes you got a lot of these camps out there that never been a part of any of the One West camps, and they watch videos and they set up their own thing. They come up with their own name, their fancy name. They got the T-shirts with the fringes on it. They got the 12 tribe sign, and they don't know nobody from what. They don't know myself. They don't know General Yohana. They don't know General Nate. This guy. They don't know none of them. And then they'll tell us we're going off. You know? And what you guys are doing is you guys are you hearing certain things from GMS, and you're hearing certain things from Sakari, and you're hearing certain things, and then you might have like the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi came down to our camp a couple of times on 34th and 7th. Oh, my name is such and such and so and so, and then we even, hey, shalom. And we didn't know that they were also cool with Zabak, or Priest Zabak. Now Zabak, they say that the MOTB is not the micro C hip, that we're going off. And so I realized, that's why they're saying that it's not the micro C hip, because Zabak said it. So they took certain things that they liked from GMS, then they took other things that they liked what Zabak said. And what other camp? They was with Sakari too, because they did unity camps with Sakari. I don't know how you can have a unity camp. That's oxymoronic. How can you have a unity camp if y'all going off on certain doctrines? You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody from Sakari says the mark of the beast is a microchip, you as Wi-Fi being there, you supposed to say, nah, y'all going off. So how can there be unity? There's no unity. There's disunity. There's confusion. Okay, so let me see. Right, the morsel which thou hast eaten shall thou vomit up, and lose thy sweet words. So you ate the book, but something said, I don't like this part. My mother's an Edomite, and Edomites can't make it. You know? Well, guess what? You vomited up the part where it says Edomites can't make it. Proverbs 26:11, and the Apostle Peter repeated this statement: as a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. These are the guys that come into this truth, man. They might do a year, 6 months, 10 years, and they'll fall out for whatever. They might have felt that they were wrongly judged. And some of them will keep teaching. But then you see through the years, they keep changing. No, GMS, they got, like Nazariah out of Chicago. When he broke off, it was only for one thing. He said something to the effect of the tribe of Dan should be on that sign, something to that effect. That was back in 2014. I heard it at the Passover. The individual that told me about it was the elder or the Mashaphat. So we told them, guys, look, you out the school, you out the circle. Now, if you get it straight, you can come back. So they had a time where they can come back. And eventually, they kind of ventured off. But they had their own thing. And the only problem they had was the Dan thing. Dan should be on the sign, or however y'all said it. And Gazak said the same thing. High Priest Gazak recently, about a year and a half, 2 years ago. He said the 12 tribe sign is wrong. Dan should be on that sign, and Joseph should be on it. So we said, and then he's coming, all you guys, former One Western, you got to come under me. I'm one of the original 7, so I can get y'all straight. I said, no, we ain't coming under y'all, under you. Because you going off right there. You understand? So come to find out, he really wasn't one of the men of the Lord, because he would have kept going. When him and Yeshaya left, they would have kept going. They would have set up their own thing. They would have got, if y'all did that, y'all would have got a bunch of followers, man. But maybe it's because you're not of the elect, not one of the chosen. I don't know. I stole that from Karat Zabah. I don't know. It says, Isaiah 19 and 14. Yahweh. Oh, another thing. We don't know the name of the Most High. You know? Now, in this video here, where is it? Okay, which is, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched some of it last night. I was going to sleep. I said I'll watch the rest of it tomorrow, this morning or whatever, the next morning. So it's called Hatred Unseen, IUIC Friday Night Raw. So if you come, I believe it's here. It's right around here. If this is the same video, ASAP mentioned Yahweh Shai 2 times. Then Yahweh Shai. So they're kind of saying it, but then they don't, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they say it, sometimes they don't say it. And now right about, I don't know, right about here, is it? Or somewhere around here. He starts talking about, it's around here. He's got these guys from, not Wi-Fi, from BOW, B-O-W, Believers Away. Which they're not men of the Lord. They're not of the elect. At least they repent, because they don't teach the MOTB. As a micro C hip, and I guess there's certain other things. I don't know the full gospel. So Deacon Asaph was cursing them out. And then he was saying, these guys are just like GMS. They're doing the same shit as GMS. But it kept looping. It looped like 3 times to make me hear it. So I'm looking at the comment, and you got these guys laughing, joking, yes, abortion, not GMS knockoffs. BOW is GMS Part 2. These guys are just as bad as GMS, and GMS are a bunch of demons. I see we have GMS on the chat. So we're like enemies, man, to them. Complete enemies. And like Apostle Gabar observed, if you look at all the comments, not one scripture. They hate, but they not all over the world fixing communities like IUIC. That's not what the scriptures say. Didn't say go to it. It didn't say fix community. That's nowhere in the scriptures. The job is to gather the elect. So they're doing their own thing. Now, Manata Zakbar had he said something. Let me see. Okay, right here. Okay, so they're laughing, crying, not laugh out loud, not GMS knockoffs. Because he said it. He said that. And when they say GMS, their blood boils. And then you got GMS, South Carolina 08. He put a couple emojis there. And then somebody said, there's a GMS member in the chat. Let's see if I can find that again. Okay, it says, Deacon, you teaching, and I checked them out. They young boys. Well, Jeremiah was a boy. He was prepubescent. Pubescent. Yeah, you can't be a prophet because you're a boy. Jeremiah was a boy, one of the great prophets. He was considered a major prophet by the scholars. So it says, I see we have GMS on the chat. Okay, where Bow at, believe it or the way, they said they was going to call in when Deacon go live. Now, they did have a meeting, and they did apologize for what they said. They said we were wrong on both sides. They said that they were wrong. They're going to take down the video. ASAP said, no, we ain't taking down the video, and we don't accept your apologies and all that. And there's something, there's something deeper than you got to go. I said, come on, man. They strain at a gnat and swallow a camel, as the saying goes. Hope I said it right. And I more and more when I see these guys, I think about this wicked scribes and Pharisees. So anyway, let me give you some of these precepts here. I'm sorry, let me do this. Let me come back over here. I put a lot of precepts. I put a list, which I'm not going to be able to hit this whole list. I'll be here for 3 hours. Okay, it says here, right? Okay, so 2 Peter 2, verse 22, the vomit. And I read that in Proverbs as well. returneth to his vomit. Dog returned to his vomit. The dog is turned to his vomit. So Peter was reiterating Proverbs 26:11. Okay. 20 Isaiah 28 verse 8, for all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. The microchip, the MOTB being sent in all of its forms, and it's also, if you go to, I'm gonna give you some precepts, I'm gonna give you 2 precepts to back up Revelation 13 and 16. The first one is Revelation 17 and 4. Which when I heard that, I laughed. I said, that has nothing to do with Revelation. Revelation 17 and 4 has absolutely nothing to do with Revelation 13 and 16. Then most recently, he pulled out Job 10 verse 14, where Job says, if I sin, then the Lord, I'm merely paraphrasing, then the Lord mocketh me. See, that's it. See, I told you, the mark is sin in all of its forms, whether it be political or religious. No. You said the mark is sin. You didn't say if you sin, you're going to get the mark. That's what Job said. If I sin, the Most High mark me. And the word there is not the same. Mark is not the same word in Revelation, with that word in Revelation 13, 16, and 17. The word there is charagma, which is a physical thing. You're going to find that word in charagma in about 5 places in Revelation, 5 or 6 verses in Revelation. And the only other time it's mentioned outside the book of Revelation is the book of Acts, where the Most High said, we are the sons of God, but we're not. I should go to that. Yeah, let me go on to that. Let me go to that. Let me do it this way. It's in, I believe it's Acts 19, but this is how I'm going to do it. That's why it's important to go to the blue letter. Them guys always go to the blue letter. Yeah, there's a reason why we go to the blue letter. Okay, so let me see Revelation 13 and 16. The word mark in Job 10 and 14 is the word watch, Shema. Completely different words. So they can't say, oh, we would have followed it, we would have had it right, had somebody we broke it. We've been breaking it down. The true prophets of the Lord been breaking it down to y'all. And even you had recent, as of a couple of days, one of the young elders in our camp, he did a video, and then I did a lamb back on that video concerning priest. I always think of, when I say priest, I think of Bun Lawyer, Priest Daniela. If I think of Daniela, I think of lawyer for some reason. They were always together. So the mark, this is G5480. And see, this is what scholars put this together for themselves. The churches don't go to the blue letter. I'll be surprised if they start, let's go to the blue letter. That means they're watching us. So let's look up the word charagma. And the word charagma is a physical thing. Even the blue letter says it. Of the mark stamped on, inserted, it should be the word inserted on, injected on the forehead of the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. It says thing carved, sculpted, graven work of idolatrous images. So if you want to make idols, you need a guy that's a sculptor. He takes the chisel, if it's wood, chisels it out. All right. Imprinted mark. And we did this before. It's written, it's in, let me see. Well, it's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8 times in the book of Revelation. But the only time it's not in the other part of in another part of the Bible is Acts 17 and 29. For as much then as we are the offspring of the Most High. So somebody might say, oh, so the Most High had sex with my mother? No. We're the spiritual son, just like Yahushua is the spiritual son of the Most High. We ought not to think that the Godhead, the Most High, is like unto gold or silver or stone graven by art and men's devices. Meaning, the graven images are a physical thing. So Paul is saying, matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Let me see what it says in the NLT. Paul is explaining that the Most High didn't put seed in your mother. You being the son of the Most High and Yahushua being the son of the Most High, we're spiritual sons. Is not Satan the son of the Most High? Huh? Go to Job 1 and then go to Job chapter 2. It mentions the sons of God on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. So, and Satan came before him. Why did Satan come before the Most High? Because he's a son of God in the spirit. I'm sorry. Let me do this. Okay, so, and since this is true, we shouldn't start at 28th verse. For in him we live and move and exist, as some of your own poets have said, we are his offspring. What does a poet do? They speak in words, euphemisms. I'm saying that word right. That's a tongue twister for me. A rapper, they'll use certain words that people don't understand unless you're part of that community, and then you understand it. Jake sings songs. They might be singing about a flower, but they're talking about a high school sweetheart that they had. All right? It says, and since this is true, we should think of the Most High as an idol designed by. We shouldn't think of the Most High as an idol, like an image designed by craftsmen from gold or silver or stone. And that goes into, there was idol worship back there. Diana of Ephesus, they were bowing down to an actual statue. If the statue fall, if somebody pushed the statue, if a wind come, that's in the scriptures too. So Paul was going into idol worship, how you take a thing, this is our God. And Diana of Ephesus, them people, man, they were over talking. And those are Israelites that were following Diana of Ephesus. Let me see if I can find that. Diana. Okay, Acts 19. Here it goes again. The craftsmen, certain men named Demetrius, silversmith, brought no small gain unto the craftsmen, so that not only craft dangerous said Diana should be despised. Diana's nothing but a statue with the multiple breasts and her magnificence should be destroyed. 28th verse. And when they heard these sayings, they were full of wrath and cried out, saying, "Great is Diana of Ephesus." Because Paul was speaking against Diana of Ephesus. It says, when they heard these sayings, they were full of wrath, anger, and cried out, saying, "Great is Diana of Ephesus." And the whole city was filled with confusion, and having caught Gaius and Aristarchus, men of Macedonia, which is Asia Minor, Paul's companions, these were men that were doing the work with Paul, in travel, they rushed with one accord into the theater. And when Paul would have entered unto the people, the disciples suffered him not. And certain of the chief of Asia, that's Asia Minor, which were his friends, sent unto him, desiring him that he would not adventure himself into the theater. Some therefore cried one thing, and some another, that which is confusion, for the assembly was confused, and the more part knew not wherefore they would come together. So they would come like, "What's going on? What's going on?" That's Jake. What the fuck is going on? And he wound up getting shot. And they drew Alexander out of the multitude, the Jews putting him forward, and Alexander beckoned with the hand and would have made his defense apologia unto the people. But when they knew that he was a Jew, all with one voice, about the space of 2 hours, cried out, "Great is Diana of Ephesus." And these were Israelites. You had some other nations in there, but they were mainly Israelites. They were following this idol. Hey, there's no way I would get with no Muslims, man. And when the town's clerk had appeased the people, he said, "Ye men of Ephesus, what man is there that knoweth not how that the city of the Ephesians is a worshiper of the great goddess Diana?" That's why it's called, that's why she's called Diana of Ephesus. And you had Jakes all up, and you had mingled people, but you had Jakes all up in there. And of the image which fell down from Jupiter. So it was as you go into the story, the backstory, it was a meteorite that came down, and some sculptor sculpted into that's Diana. That's Diana. She fell from heaven. And people believed that because people were superstitious, right? So somebody sculpted that image, that idol with the multiple breasts, and you had breasts, and you had people bowing down to it. So the Apostle Paul saying, "Nah, you ain't supposed to bow down. That's an idol right there." Seeing then that these things cannot be spoken against, ye ought to be quiet and to do nothing rashly. Yeah, you got to read Acts. There's a lot of, that's why it's called Acts. Acts comes from the word, that's where you get the word action from. When you act on it, you know? So, in Acts, let me come back over here. Give me a second. Acts 17 and 29. He said, don't look at God like he's an idol, that you make a this is God. This is a statue of God, an image of God in the form of a statue. Just like the people of Ephesus was worshiping Diana. They were asking for blessings, and if they got blessed, which wasn't by her, they would think they would give the credit to Diana. So Paul was going into idol worship. He said, look, the God in heaven, the Most High heaven, is not an idol that you can make an image out of him and bow down to him. He's in the heavens. So from this statement right here, he's saying, look, our God is not an idol that a man, that a craftsman would chisel out. So the word there is, here the word mark is charagma. So what does the word charagma mean? It means graven. It means graven. You take a piece of stone or metal or wood, and you take engraving tools and you engrave, the 4 tetrarchs. Somebody put that together. Y'all know about the 4 tetrarchs. That represents, you had 4 rulers ruling at once. One of the rulers was the father of Constantine the Great, Constantius. And there was 2 parts of the Roman Empire, the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire. The Western Roman Empire fell, but that was Jake. Jake was ruling. This is why Esau keeps us down, mainly Judah. Because they know their history. They know that Jake took their kingdom. Back in 96, the beginning of Jake taking over the kingdom of Rome, Great Rome, was in 96 AD. Not 193 AD, which Bishop Nate got wrong. The first black Hebrew Israelite emperor was Septimius Sepphoris, 193 AD. He's just mocking what Yeshaya said years ago, because Yeshaya didn't know all the history. The first Jake emperor of Rome was a man by the name of Nerva. He came after the death of the younger brother of Titus, which is Domitian. So if you really did some research, Nate, you would realize that Israelites was ruling from 96 AD. That was the same time when John was on the Isle of Patmos, because it was, I believe, I can go into the history, somebody fact check me. I believe he was sentenced to the Isle of Patmos by Domitian, the younger brother of Titus, the son of Vespasian. It was during that time, because all the apostles, the 12, they were all put to death. The only one left was John. The reason why he left, because the Most High put the spirit on him not to kill him, and put him on this island, the salt mine. And the reason why he died, he was up in age too. If he wasn't 100, he was close to 100. The Most High gave him all them visions to give to the 7 churches of Asia Minor. And some of them, and all them churches went off in one way or another. He said, you're doing this right, you're doing that right, but you're doing this wrong. The church that, when I think of this church, it reminds me of the IUIC, which is the Church of Laodicea. He said, you're doing this right, you're doing this right, but you're lukewarm because you're all in the money. And I'm not saying that they're the Church of Laodicea, but they got money and brag. Hey, you ain't gonna call nobody a bum if you're a bum. A bum doesn't call another bum a bum. You guys are a bunch of bum. But then the law kicks in. If I'm poor, you're supposed to help your poor brother. You going out there cleaning communities of Jakes that are not believers. So you sending mixed messages. If they say, well, look, we need you GMS guy to come in the community. I said, look, we can't come to the community and speak to y'all. The only thing we can do, if you want, we can come and gather your people together. We can tell them that they're Israelites, and if they don't get it, we're going to shake dust off of our garments, off of our feet. So there's a lot of things that the IUIC goes off on. So they didn't eat the whole roll, or they refused. They ate the roll and spit out some, or vomited some, or got a bag to not teach certain things. You know, your spiritual antennas got to go up When at one time they were calling on Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, then all of a sudden they're not calling on Yahweh Shai, they're calling on Christ. They changed a lot of things through the years. They're teaching that there's a hell, and this is recent. This was as of, 4 or 5 years ago. And I just caught it maybe a year ago. Ran across some videos and they said, there's another hell that you burn in heaven. And Israelites burn in hell. The Israelites going to burn. That's not scriptural. But as soon as the leader says it, they just, whatever you say. So this is why we get on them the most. Hey, I did a video yesterday with Hakkar and Hassad. They want to challenge Captain Tazariak on the covenant thing, and I didn't know why they wanted to have a debate. I didn't know if they want to have a general debate or a debate on a particular subject. I come to find out it was a debate on the new covenant, and I just found out that IUIC, according to the video that they pulled up of a member of IUIC, he said we're in the new covenant. So their argument, Hassad and Hakkar and Hassad, is that we're not in the new covenant. And then I'm watching the video and I said, yeah, they're right. I said we're not in the new covenant. The fulfillment, the part of the covenant that's been fulfilled is Yahweh Shai coming, being born, put on the cross, being lifted up. That's a part of it. That's why he said it is finished. The covenant is already there, but the fulfillment of us being in the new covenant is when the Most High come down, destroy this place, beam up the elect. We're going to be changed. We're going to be changed. We're going to be extraterrestrial angels in human bodies, so we can read people's thoughts. We can look through walls. We can cause fire to come out of our mouth. We can cause fire to come down from heaven. We can raise the dead. We can do all that stuff. Our Lord said, the things that I do, you shall do in greater. Yahweh Shai did so many great things that even if you wrote it in books, the world couldn't hold all them books. So he did a lot of things as far as spiritual power is concerned that's not even in the scriptures. Because his mother already knew. She saw the spiritual things that he did as a child. That's why she said, could you turn this water into wine? Why would your mother say that? Because she saw you do some. There's a history, I don't know how true it is, where if he saw like a dove, he would pick the dove up and he'd blow into it and the dove would come back to life and fly away. That's not in the scriptures. That's in certain history books. Certain scholars or whatever. I don't know how true that is, but I know one thing: he can do it if he wanted to. If he raised up Lazarus, he raised up an animal. And the reason why his mother said turn this water into wine, because she's seen him do all kind of magic things, all kind of spiritual things. Now going back to Gog or Magog, they're going to attack us in the kingdom. How the hell are they going to attack us when we can read everybody's mind? And then being that Nate, let's say it's true, Nate said, yeah, that's what's going to happen. Wouldn't be, based on what Bishop Nate said, when we get in the kingdom, we're going to know, y'all do know that after 1,000 years, we're going to keep that calendar up. And then on the day of the 1,000 years, we're going to watch them Gogites. It don't make no fucking sense. And I just found out that Sakari teaches that nonsense. Ezekiel chapter 38 is going to be fulfilled in this time. You don't say, well, the part of Ezekiel 38 is talking about after 1,000 years and a little time after that. That's why we got on Assad and Hakkar. We said them guys are two clowns. Anyway, I got a big list. Let me pull out some of them. Ain't no way I can cover all of them. Okay, Ecclesiasticus 10 and 2, and this was put up by Apostle Ariam Lob. So I'm going to start. I put this on the top. Okay, let me do this. Let's do it this way. Here we go. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and that manner of man, the ruler of the city, is such are all they that dwell therein. So what that means is, if a guy makes a statement, he's the head guy. If he makes a statement, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is the dragon in Book of Revelation. That makes sense, y'all. That makes sense. That blindly follow the leader, which is a man, Jeremiah. Cursed be the man that trusteth in man. So now let's go from there to Jeremiah 23 and 1. We're gonna you got to really read the whole the whole chapter. And we get on IUIC because they're clearly going off. And our thing is to warn the people that they're going off. So now if we didn't say nothing about it, we were cool, we praise IUIC, and they're teaching that to take the chip. And now if the chip come out, people take it, guess what? The blood's going to be on our hands because we didn't warn the people. Jeremiah 23 and 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith Yahweh. Because if you're teaching, I'm just using that as an example, you're teaching that the MOTB is sin in all of its forms, meaning the actual microchip, you can take it. Therefore thus saith Yahweh, the Most High of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Visiting them meaning you have not taught them the right way. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith Yahweh. So when you're teaching this word, if you truly believe in the Most High, you got to have fear. You got to say, we have to say that maybe, what if we're going off concerning the mark of the beast? We're not going off. Because we studied it. We went to the blue letter. We went to the hip. We see it out there. The technology is already here. People, I believe what was it? 60? Is it 6,000 or 60,000? It's in the thousands of people. But they said worldwide there's supposed to be over 50 to 100,000 people that got the chip, which is a small number compared to billions of people. But something's going to happen where they're going to cause a whole planet to take that chip. It says, so that's when you're going to have to make that stand. And that's when we're going to see who are the true prophets of the Lord. 23rd verse, and I will gather the remnant of my flock, remnant meaning the elect, which is a segment, a remnant, out of all countries, whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set up shepherds, teachers over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith Yahweh. That's the kingdom. So you're going to have all rank and file in the kingdom. Like I said, I'm not going to read all these precepts, but I'm going to save them. Let me see. There's so many of them. No way in hell I can read all of these. The Proverbs 11 refer the righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the perfect. So when you're teaching these scriptures, you got to make sure you're teaching them perfectly. Somebody said, no, you GMS are going off about the mark. It ain't what you guys say it is. And we're going to stand and say, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Proverbs 28 and verse 10. Whoso causes the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit, but the upright shall have good things in possession. Oh, the rich man is wise in his own conceit. A rich guy, you can't tell him nothing. He said, man, I'm a multi-billionaire. You can't tell me shit. But the poor that have understanding searches him out. Okay, 14th verse. We're going to jump to the 14th verse. Happy is the man that feareth always, but he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief. So we told you that the MOTB is a micro CM. All of y'all heard that. All of y'all know. You listen to GMS, you came across a video dealing with that particular subject. And that includes IUIC, ISUPK, Wi-Fi, all of them. They all know it. We broke it down to you. Happy is the man that feareth always, but he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief. So all of you that teaches that the MOTB, and I'm just using that scripture for an example, that is not the mark. And a lot of y'all say, well, that ain't it because GMS said it. If GMS said it, you know it's wrong. Well, guess when the time comes, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to make a decision. And we're going to find out if your leader says, go ahead and take it, there's nothing wrong with it. We know that this man took the bag. We know that this man took the bag. Because some of y'all did fall out. I mean, you did make a deal, a backdoor deal. And then now we're going to go to the 18th verse. Whoso walketh upright shall be saved, but he that is perverse in his ways shall fall at once. So if you're teaching this thing opposite to what we teach, because we're teaching it the right way, you're going to eventually fall. What does Proverbs 29 and 1 say? He that being often reproved or rebuked hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. Without remedy means you're going to die. You're going to get sick. You're going to get in your deathbed, and the doctor's going to say, we can't help you. You're going to die inside of a week. So get your house in order. So now, when General Nate was in the hospital in 2021, he thought he was going to die. But there was a remedy for him. The Most High raised him back up. So now could that have built up his pride? Because the first thing he said, that Passover 2022, he called on Yahweh and Yahushua after he got out of his deathbed scenario. So he had fear at that time. But he started feeling, oh, I'm all right, I'm good. Let me keep calling on Christ. Most High hates that too. Abiel said, to Barak, when Barak said Nate, he said, why you call, don't disrespect him, you call him by his right name, it's Nathaniel. But wait a minute, you calling the Most High Christ, Jesus. I'm telling you right now, the Most High gonna judge you guys. The Most High gonna straight up judge you dudes. Your pride has blinded you. Somebody that's proud doesn't realize they're proud. If somebody else said, look, you too proud, you know, somebody got it to, you're blinded by pride. Like I said, I'm not going to read all these precepts. Because there's so many of them, but you can see. Yeah, I hope you can see it good. Hebrews 13:7, jump to 17. Obey them to have the rule over you, for they watch for your soul. Because if we were going to be politically correct, we wouldn't say nothing about the chip, and then people are going to take the chip, and then it's going to be on us, because we knew to tell you, we were commanded to tell you not to take the chip. The chip is the mark of the beast. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this list together. And I might come back and read a couple more, but I ain't going to read all of these. But you can read them yourself. Oh, Ephesians 4:11. That's one of my favorites. It speaks about the order, the apostles, the prophets, the teachers, the pastors, evangelists. And it says that you, matter of fact, let me go to that. Let me just go to that. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers. An evangelist is somebody that goes out, and pushes his word. What's the scripture say? Make full proof of thy ministry. So an evangelist will be on YouTube every day for the perfecting of the saints. For the perfecting of the saints. That means any scripture you go to, if all the camps were all perfect on the same wavelength and they were all men of the Most High, they would all teach the same thing. For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, because you learn this truth and then you do the work of the ministry. You don't just take it and put the coin in a napkin and hide it and put it in your back pocket. For the edifying of the body of the Yahushua. Is the body of Yahushua all Israel? No. The body of Yahushua are the elect. Till we all come into unity. You can't have a unity camp when you have 2-3 different camps with different doctrines. Till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, which is how they teaching the Father and Son are the same people. So they waxing worse and worse. Remember, Tazadakia changed the gospel drastically. He was turning the doctrine into a Roman Catholic doctrine. And what did the Most High do to him in 2020? On April Fool's Day. He took him out. Unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Yahushua. That we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men. Magicians, they use a sleight of hand. They'll make a bird, and if you knew what was going on, it's all BS. But people say, "Oh my goodness, he actually made." No, he did not. That's a trick. That's all a trick. That's smoke and mirrors. And anytime I saw somebody, a magician on TV, I always said, "What did he do?" I'm looking behind him, I'm looking at the side. There was a guy named, what was his name? Something Randy. The Magnificent Randy. And he used to go on TV, and he was a magician, and he would tell you how they did their tricks. He said, this is how they did it. You know, so the magicians hated him. You know? It says, so magicians, they use what's called a sleight of hand. By the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. So if you're telling the people that MOTB is sin in all of its forms, is sleeping with white women, the Apostle Paul had the mark, King Solomon had the mark, you should run away from them guys. If you're of the elect. If you're not one of the elect, you're going to follow them. But speak in the truth in love, and may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Yahushua. From whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted. If you build a house and it's not fitly joined together and compacted, guess what? You're going to have leaks. That's why a roof, a regular house, you got that triangle. That's when the rain comes down, the rain falls off of the roof. And then you have tiles which are overlapping one another. So that's what it means by perfectly joined together. By that which every joint supplieth, according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, because we're part of a body, make an increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. So how do we make sure everything is flowing? We're constantly doing these videos. Anyway, you know what? You got this right here. If you can see it. Got all these precepts. Oh, right here, Jeremiah 3:15. Then I'm going to close it. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding of the whole book. So now, did the Most High send Bishop Nate to be a pastor according to his heart? No, because Bishop Nate will be teaching that the MOTB is a micro-C-hip. If he's one of the elect, then when that comes, he's going to say, I was wrong. It is the MOTB. And I apologize to GMS. Because we definitely got it right. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.